All right, my beloved. It is 5:20 something in the AM, and we have woken up early for our ball service. Yeah, and before we were cross bearers, light haters, and and crucifiers of the personas of the sun, and a bearer of that bad news. Let me tell you, you can cast that off for something greater, and let that mind ascend into the cosmological realm, where thou can reach upon the stars and the planetoids, the gods, if you will, of the current time, the gods of remote neutrality. As in, days coming back from not doing too much to do something. Here's your time to get right. Let's go astrological, my star warriors. That's right. Astra is fucking star. And if it's an asteroid, it's a star turd. Star chunks. The future, we think, is star chunks. What we is made of stars. Made of light. Light beings. Made to transmit light. All of it's light. Even false light. Now, I was never successful as a crossbearer. Didn't make no money. Ain't nobody like me. But as a ball polisher, I demand opportunity. Because that's where favor is. Favor is in ball Jupiter. And I command you all to be star warrior ball polishers with me. In ball Jupiter. Not just playing around, I guess. I think it's just funny. So, yes, we honor ball Jupiter. But not in the hokey, fanatic way that they did back then, where we have to slay lots of animals right now. Because he's not asking for that, right? He's asking for our time and attention. He's asking, hey, you gonna consider me? I'm Ball Jupiter, I'm here. You can see me every day, right? That kind of a thing. I'm a persona and a planet and a power. We have embassage, right? Not only in science, but in astrology. And then we got the necromancer. The necromancer is going to tell you what the cosmological situation really is for you. Because you got an earthly mind. You're attached to earthly things. You worry about earthly stuff. You think about earthly people. You live out earthly activities. Your brain, it's not ascending. An ascension is when your brain goes from gross matter experience into the cosmological emanation that comes down, astral projected here. Reverse astral projected here. Little star warriors, stuck in little bodies. Got to reconnect with their divinity. Get sucked in to dogma. And brought along life paths where they live out things that ain't good for them. Live out retarded lies. Because the information they was given wasn't correct. And that's the whole point, yeah? You got leaders that don't want you intelligent. They don't benefit from you being smart. They benefit from you being caught up and busy with their things and paying their money and buying their books and reading their Bible conjecture because you don't know. Because you weren't there. And you expect they know. But they weren't there, right? All that shit. Now, do you want stories or do you want stuff you can apply? The men and women that we were talking about of old, they connected with the gods. They had opportunity to apply actual wisdom, gnosis, knowledge, real things, logia, stuff that you could use to build stuff and solve problems. Not stuff you could lead people with social entertainment interactions that don't bring beneficial activities. Way back when, there was a time where I bet the stuff led to good activities, right? We believe the original services for the gods were taken away in the Roman times because they fucking abused it, right? And they treated it more like how they treat things here today. They assume that they're going to set something up and they never follow through with the conditions that are laid out, right? And they cheat people, they defraud, they do the things that the gods don't want you defrauding everyone. They don't want you to ruin everyone else's experience. There should be co-ascensions of certain types here. They should be co-developments and codependent realities that are parallel from each other that require the ingredients of each. Like I said, we were talking about a coin. The hermeticist knows that there's three sides. There's three yous in you. And if you can separate them, the you are can see the left and right and see that the left and right are divided over the middle and all are one thing, right? The hermeticist knows that they say that the coin looks like this on this side. And they say the coin looks like that on that side that's subscribed. It's inscribed. It has a different content and context. The other side is subscribed and inscribed, has different content and context. But both are coin. Both are the same thing. Right? It's going on this way on this side of the earth. It's going on this way on this side of the earth. Both sides are earth. Coexisting realities. Parallel. Finite, right? Because they're eventually going to end. A little parabola of activity that happens for a little while, that falls out of favor, that people pick up way later. The question is can you prove that we have continuity of history? Can you prove that without discernible doubt? Can you prove that there isn't zeros in between stuff? Or many zeros? Enter the paradigm, kids. See, things are so weird that we can't tell what happened end to end, right? We have what we have now in the ever-present. We have some of what was written then. And then we look at what was written then in a mind frame that... So these people couldn't even talk the way they wanted because the mind frame was so bad that you could get burned at the stake for talking about anything outside the church, but they freely included astrology as part of the ecclesiastical content material of the body of knowledge of being that. So the zodiac, which is star worship, astrology is star worship. You're considering it and honoring the stars. Why should they have honor? Why should they have consideration, right? We have a God, right? Hey, all of this stuff was good to consider. The real God is the one they made up here. And it only exists above the God there really is, which is Saturn, the ultimate ender and finisher of this situation. Cosmically, this situation's a recyclery. When we die out, he says he's going to do the same thing he did over and over, reseed this place. Where you're looking at things that you don't know when happened, and they can't prove when happened. The cosmic recyclery goes like this. They use these planetoids, the gods, to pull things out of orbit, pull things out that we're not really looking at, that could speckle this place and resurface it in a day, in an hour. You can get space junk. And just the whole thing's reseeded all over again. We believe that it's a work in progress, work in process, and they can shake, reduce, recongeal, shake the Etch-a-Sketch. Just some thoughts, beloved. Add that to your mind. We get remnants of things that we can't explain. The Aztecs couldn't explain those things. Like, we can make those. They stole them straight up. We didn't make those. Even the Mayans had ruins around them. We didn't make those. We built on top of them. They were actually really good structures. We have a story about it, but it's actually not got nothing to do with our people. No, this place has been lifted up, shook down, and reduced. And I bet there was polymorphic things. Right? I bet there was things that had different features, which is why we get that in our minds, right? That there were things that didn't look quite like us, but had the same mind, right? The same mind power access, right? But we're so, what's it called? The hubris is bad down here, guys. Political processes, bureaucracy, authority, it's clouded the minds of generations. Now, I think what's going to happen is a re-revelation of the ancient powers that were, and that those who are referencing and ascending their mind up into the heavens, into the celestial realm for help, rather than looking down here for your neighbor initially to lead you to better principles, right? Or to give you cosmic awareness of what's going to happen. So we ought to be cosmically aware. The power said we ought not be ignorant, and that they left us not empty, right? That we're to be filled with knowledge and not to be wanting things. Well, that clearly, there's clearly a process of that broke, because what we're getting is not coming from the celestial realm. It's coming from the computer realm. It's coming from the physical realm. And we know the value of information is different in this realm than it is from the aetherical realm, right? So just some thoughts on that. We want to actually end up with some value out of worship, right? We want to end up with some value out of recognition on something, rather than vain fervor for religious fanaticism that's never benefited anyone. The gods could have been having us come back and remember the stupid crap we did here to the personas that they put down here to lead us, and could have reseeded this place and have us live it out again. Do you remember how you did last time? You're going to come back. We're not going to have you live that event out, but you're going to carry the cross again. And you're going to remember yourselves. And you're going to come back here and relive it out. You're not going to do the same acts, but you're going to come back here and live a society that kind of looked like that, but you're going to be more retarded, not know much more, not know as much, not have his access to much. Way back when, they were shipping everywhere. They were shipping everywhere. The astrocartography, the globe was known. There was a falling away, guys. Why was there a falling? Why was the world known through astrocartography and globular nature? They know everything was a sphere, right? But all of a sudden, we got to figure everything out again in the Middle Ages. This shit doesn't make sense, man. Come on, piece it together. There could be some way bigger lengths of time in between stuff, because even Napoleon said that history is a set of lies well agreed upon. And every one of those idiots, when they got enough money, what did they do? A world tour to try and see if they could piece together a better narrative. Because the shit doesn't make sense, even with all the money in the world at their disposal, right? All right, beloved. Necromancer out.